This time we're going to use the T-chart not to find the elapsed time because they actually give it to us right down here, 1 hour and 45 minutes. Remember that you might see it in that format, or you could see it written as 1. We're going to just abbreviate HR for hour and 45. Again, I'm going to abbreviate minutes. And now we're going to find the end time is what we're looking at this time, because they've given us the start time, which is 3:15, and the elapsed time, which is 1:45. That's the amount of time, 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's the amount of time they want to pass until we get to our end time. So we'll have to figure out what that end time is. So we start at 3:15, always keeping in mind that we want to go 1 hour and 45 minutes. Just like on our other chart, we want to start with the hours if there are any, and there are this time. They want 1 hour to pass. So we're going to go ahead 1 hour, and that will take us to, you guessed it, 4:15. Now our hours are done. Now we have to count our minutes. Let me just take this guy in. Sorry. So he doesn't disappear. There we go. Now we're going to get those 45 minutes. And again, looking over here, it ends in a 5. So we are going to count by 5s. Could you count by 1s? Yes, but you would have to count a lot. Could you count by 10s? Yes, you could, but I would rather you count by 5s because it's easier for you to keep that pattern because this ends with a 5. So 4:15, go 5 minutes, takes you to 4:20. 4:20, 5 minutes more, 4:25. 4:25, 5 minutes more, 4:30. 4:30, 5 minutes more, 4:35. Now let's check and make sure we haven't gone beyond that 45 minutes because they only want 45 minutes to pass. We have our 1 hour and 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Only 20 minutes have passed. We have to make 45 minutes pass, so we keep going. 5 minutes more, 4:40. 5 minutes more, 4:45. 5 minutes more will take us to 4:50. Again, always keeping in mind we only want 45 minutes to pass, so go back and check again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So we have to keep on going. 5 minutes more will put us at 4:55, and our last 5 minutes will put us at 5 o'clock, which is now going to be our end time or finish. Now let's go back and just double check to make sure we went that 1 hour and 45 minutes. There's our 1 hour, and count them again: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 minutes. So 1 hour and 45 minutes has gone by. That's our lapse time, and the time now we have discovered our finish time is 5 o'clock. Always keeping in mind that PM and PM. So just in case we cross over that AM PM line. Again, when we came to this point, we counted by 5s. We counted our 1 hour. It took us to 4:15, and we decided to count by 5s because our number ends in 5. 5 minutes took us to 4:20. At 4:20, there's a 0 there. And it would be perfectly acceptable for you to now start counting by 10s because it's easy once you have that 10 there to go on and count by 10s. If you had, this is what your chart would look like. So you would have 5 minutes takes you to 4:20, then 10 minutes to 4:30, 10 minutes to 4:40, 10 minutes to 4:50, and finally 10 minutes to 5 o'clock. If you count it up, 1 hour and 10, 20, 30, 45 minutes still takes us to that same end time, 5 o'clock. So it's still an acceptable way to find the answer, because it gives you the exact same answer, but it depends on what you feel comfortable counting by. But remember, we want to stick to increments of first hours, 1 hour, and then 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or 1 minute. Let's not try to count by twos or threes or fours. A lot of you understand the strategy, but then when you have to count by those other numbers, you get mixed up. So we're going to try to keep it as easy as possible and do everything we possibly can to keep you from making some of those common mistakes that students make. Here's another one. If you start at 8:20, they give you start time. Don't give you the finish time, but give you the elapsed time. They want you to go 6 hours and 15 minutes. So again, we start with the hours. 8:20, 1 hour, will take us to 9:20. 9:20, 1 hour, will take us to 10:20. Another hour, 11:20. We have gone 3 hours so far, but we have to go 6. Another hour, 12:20. Another hour, 1:20. That makes 5 hours have elapsed. And our one last hour, since we have to go 6 hours, takes us to 2:20. Now we want to calculate the minutes. The number of minutes that they wanted us to find is 15. And we can do this either by doing fives, or again, would be much easier here to count by tens because of the fact that it ends in 0. So we would count 10 minutes, which would take us to 2:30. And then you don't have to go another 10 minutes, so you wouldn't want to go 10 minutes more because we only need to go 15 minutes, so we only need 5 more minutes to have our total of 15 minutes of time elapsed. So go your 5 more minutes, and that takes you to 2:35, which now is our end time because we need to go 6 hours and 15 minutes. Let's look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, and 10 and 5 makes 15 minutes. So our end time is 2:35. This is our end time, ladies and gentlemen. So whether you're finding the elapsed time, which is they would give you the start and the finish time, or finding the end time, when you use that T-chart, first put your information, your start time and your finish time, or just put a little question mark for finish time if they don't give it to you, and then write your elapsed time here. Draw your T-chart, label your columns, hours and minutes and time, and then put the word start. Remember, that's very important because no time has elapsed yet. So put your start time across from it because you don't want to count that first unit of time there because nothing has passed yet. Take out your hours first, or go on to put your elapsed time in by hour first. Then do your minutes. Remember, look at that final digit. If it's a 0, you go 10 minutes. If it's a 5, you go by 5-minute increments, or here we couldn't go another 10, so we were forced to go by 5. Or use 1-minute increments. Please don't try to do 2s and 7s and 6s because that's where we end up making our little mistakes that make our answer wrong. And then always go back to check. Double check your answer. Here's a practical example of how we would use start time and end time, elapsed time on your T-chart. They don't give you the end time here. Look at what they do. They give you the start time for the movies and then the elapsed time. You all are definitely going to be using this skill in a couple of years when you want mom and dad to drop you off at the movies and you want to go to the 5:30 p.m. showing, and it's an hour and 45 minutes, and you have to figure out the end time. They will not tell you when the movie ends. You would have to figure out the elapsed time, or not the elapsed time, I'm sorry, the end time for the movie. So what I would like for you to do is pick one of these times here. You know that the movie is 1 hour and 45 minutes long, and find the end time for me. And you can always email it to me on Edmodo, and I will respond to you if you do that. Email me the time. So pick one of these start times down here. Set up your chart, start time, finish, put your labels on your T-chart, start, the start time, and then go 1 hour and 45 minutes to find the end time.